Whoa! Welcome back to Street Fighter 6, the game where we come for the art style and gameplay and stay because we're getting throw-looped in the corner.
Serve zero purpose. You should kill yourself now.
And now that everything about gameplay, presentation, and overall substance was covered in the last video, it's finally time to get to the part of the game that everyone loves to argue about: characters. With so many mechanics, both offensive and defensive, and several major characters getting insane overhauls, I want to cover some of them and show off just how dummy they can be. And wouldn't you know it, as soon as I started this journey, we just so happened to get a brand new character.
Yep. Now, give it more snap. Do this, and this. Previous five. Last resort. Here comes Rashid for your viewing pleasure.
Rashid of the Turbulent Wind makes his long-awaited return from Street Fighter V, rocking a brand new look, story, and game plan that turns him from a relatively interesting newcomer in 5 to a character that flat-out needs to be a mainstay. I'm not kidding, straight up, I think we have a new jury on our hands. A character that is just flat-out so cool and so interesting that it'd just be weird to not have him in at least somewhere in the new games. Kinda like Dan. Where the fuck is Dan? But we'll get to that. This character has gone through so many major changes, so let's go through it one by one. Starting off, Rashid, much like a lot of characters like Cammy and Ken, has gotten a major facelift. Ditching the... Alright, how do you pronounce this?
Shamog.
Shamog. Okay, sure. Ditching the closed Shamog, Black Agal, and DBZ cosplay Scouter for a much more open and flowy garb, showing off the short black hair and washboard abs that make Jamie look like Birdie, as well as his animations being way more energetic, taking inspiration from parkour and tricking that I'm pretty sure was done exclusively just so Capcom can flex their animation skills. In the last game, fabric, clothing, and hair was very hit or miss. If animated correctly, fabric and loose clothing would look okay. Not great, but not horrific. But if they weren't animated correctly, you would get cases like this.
Are we gonna jump from way up here?
Whoa.
Oh my god, you're... Whoa, dude.
Now, in Street Fighter 6, Rashid has so many secondary animations with every action, he may very well be the best animated character in the game so far. It's like Capcom was given a brand new shiny phone for Christmas, and now they want to show it off to their less rich friends. But with a new look comes a new direction to his story. After taking on Shadaloo, saving the world from a terroristic threat, and avenging a lost friend, his story seemed to be done. So, what do you do after being an unsung hero who fought alongside the most iconic cast of characters in fighting games?
And then it hit me. Travel the world. Seek out top-class fighters. And then vlog all our awesome fights.
I'm sorry, what? Yeah, so the best idea Rashid had after saving the fucking world is to start a goddamn TikTok and dive off buildings like Dom Tomato for views.
Taking aim. Ha!
Because if there's one thing more powerful than the Satsui no Hado, it's Cloud. Be sure to like and subscribe. The fuck's next? Jury sharing feet pics on OnlyFans? Do not get any ideas, Capcom. But by far, the biggest change to Rashid from Street Fighter V would be his gameplay. Previously, Rashid was a relatively easy character to pick up, but was extremely powerful, being in the metagame for basically the game's whole life. In Street Fighter 6, this changed. Now, Rashid has so many movement techniques and specials that change depending on if it follows another special. He is now, honestly, one of the harder characters to learn. And with that difficulty of learning a new character, especially a character as hard as him, you can imagine how well my placement matches went. Oh, fuck, I'm modern! I didn't want to be on modern controls, what? How do you use modern controls? I don't know! Fuck, what's the... There we go. Oh god, what am I doing? fuck? Are you kidding me? Uh-oh. Well. Alright, so clearly Rashid has some getting used to, so let's get into his gameplay. Now, I'm not gonna go insane with specific setups to optimize the shit out of it, or throw jargon and lingo that would take a course in Duolingo to explain. Instead, I'm going to explain Rashid in the simplest way possible. What do you need to know in order to go online with him and win a couple of matches? So if you're expecting me to explain how to win CPT with him, look elsewhere. Now, Rashid is a pretty insane character with movement, pressure, mix-ups, but almost all of it comes from one place: tornado. And this is your first goal as a Rashid player: getting a tornado out. This can be done by either charging up your fireball and waiting a few frames, or spending drive to EX fireball back kick to get it immediately. You can also use level 2 super, but we'll get to that later. Once you have a tornado, you can do all sorts of things, including incredible mix-ups, high-low, left-right, all kinds of crazy shit. But one move in particular that I want to point out is Light Spinning Mixer, as it can apply amazing pressure, and if it's sent through a current, becomes +2 on block. One of the very few moves in this game that have that. It is a complete neutral skipper, and alongside his pretty damn good light normals, leads to the ability to apply some pretty good pressure at nearly any place on the screen. If your opponent is predicting that, you can either counter that by either an anti-air like crouching medium punch or spinning mixer, or running into forward punch to low profile projectiles. Once you're in, it's all about bullying your opponent into the corner. Now, he might not have as great corner carry as, say, Cammy or Ken, but medium spinning mixer and light eagle spike is still pretty respectable and can pretty reliably get your opponent into no man's land. Now, once you're in the corner, that's where the mix-ups from Rashid start to shine. You can do so much to get an opening, it's insane. From typical things like lows, drive impacts, throw loops, anti-airs to deny jump outs, as well as the more specific things he can do, like jumping down heavy, double jumps, high-low mix-ups, left-right mix-ups, a whole bunch of crazy off-the-wall shit. This obviously gets way more crazy with things like drive rush and parry, following the meaty overhead for constant pressure, but you're getting it now. Tornado, corner carry, mix-up. That's Rashid. Supers are also pretty vital to Rashid as well, with level 1 being a pretty safe move on block and getting a great wake-up option for side switch, and level 3 being great for cashing out insane damage. But the real sauce of Rashid's supers would be level 2.
Picture perfect! Yep.
Creating a massive tornado that has even crazier properties than a normal one. Seriously, once you pop level 2, you're not playing Street Fighter 6 anymore. When you pop level 2, it's Marvel, baby. Remember that rumor that Rashid was actually going to be a character for DLC in Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, and then he never showed up because the game died immediately? I'm pretty sure there's still some people in Capcom who are a little pissed off about that and just decided, fuck it, if we can't bring Rashid to Marvel, we'll just bring Marvel to Rashid. What could possibly go wrong? But even with all the simple things to learn, Rashid is still a very difficult character to learn. Like, even through this video, I've tried to learn everything there is to know about Rashid, and my fingers just don't work with him. But in the long run, Rashid could come to be a very potent character. If I had to describe him, Rashid is a specialist. He might not be a very prevalent character, but every now and then you'll find someone who does know how to use him, and uses him well. And even if he might not be top of the tiers, he's still an incredibly cool looking character. He might not show up all the time, but when he does, he will be the most captivating character people have ever seen. And once the camera picks up on him and he truly gets to shine, he could very well blow you away.